Okay, let's have a quick lesson on how to drill holes in concrete. And if you want to drill holes in concrete, you need to have a hammer drill. No other drill is going to do this job for you. So just as an example, every drill, like a cordless variety, it has the numerical values there on the chuck, and then there's a drill bit. And the drill bit indicates like maximum torque. If you have a hammer drill, you also have the hammer setting there. And if you're new to this, I'll just give you an example. This is the sound of the regular drill, drilling into concrete. Not a lot happening there. Okay, so we switch to the hammer drill setting, and now we're going to get some impact as well. I guess maybe one more thing I'll show you here. So that's the bit that I was just using. And you notice how it has that arrowhead-like quality to it? That's a hardened bit. So that part is harder than the rest of the bit here. And it's because drilling into concrete generates a lot of heat, and that's going to destroy the steel. Like, that's why you wouldn't take a regular drill bit for wood or steel and try to drill into concrete. Even if you put it in a hammer drill where you have that impact happening, it's still just going to fail to work because the end of the bit is going to heat up and misshapen, become dull immediately, and it's just not going to work. You have to have that hardened bit on a masonry drill bit to use in a hammer drill if you want any chance to drill a hole in concrete. But I'm showing you this drill for a reason here. This is a hammer drill, right? What's the problem here, Steve? Got a hammer drill, let's drill some holes in concrete. You know what the problem is? If somebody gave me a cordless Porter cable hammer drill and told me to get busy drilling holes, I'd tell them to get busy doing something else, because you know what? That is just going to be an exercise in frustration. It might seem to you, if you're an amateur with tools or working with your hands, you have the right tool for the job. You have the drill bit, you have the hammer drill, but the reality is that, first of all, a cordless tool of any variety, drilling a hole in concrete might be one of the hardest asks, the tallest asks for a cordless tool, because you need a lot of torque and a lot of power, a lot of sustained power to drill in. Like when cordless tools first became available many years ago, they did a couple of different things. You could drill a small hole, but you couldn't really take your cordless circular saw and cut 2x4s, and certainly not 2x6s or 2x8s, because it just browned out. It didn't have the power to do it. Modern cordless tools actually do have a good amount of power, but it still falls short on what would be useful for drilling holes in concrete. Like, unless you're just going to do a couple, genuinely a couple holes, then okay, maybe a cordless hammer drill. If I were going to buy a cordless hammer drill, I surely would want to see one of higher quality than Porter cable. There's quite a spectrum here in the world of cordless tools, and the lower end spectrum tools, I mean, it's got the name, it's shaped like a hammer drill, right? But the quality of it is just not there. It doesn't have the power that it's going to need. But even the brand name ones, like I love Bosch tools as an example. I like them a lot. Even a Bosch cordless hammer drill, good as it might be for drilling a couple holes, if I'm doing more than a couple, I want a corded hammer drill. A corded hammer drill, like this model right here. This is a Bosch Bulldog corded hammer drill. It's got just regular drill setting, hammer drill setting, or chipping hammer setting. Chipping hammer would be where I would put a chisel or a point in here and I can do some finer detailed jackhammering. You call it a chipping hammer. But with this tool here, you're going to be so much more successful at drilling holes. If I needed to drill 300 holes in a day, this is a tool that I want to be holding to do that job. And so before I let you go here, I just want to give you some tips onto how to actually drill a hole in concrete. So 2 things really is all that you need to know. 1, if it's a large hole, you need to start small and step up. If I'm going to, have something like this, is like 5/8 or more inch is in size, and then if I want to like bury this in concrete, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that even with a good quality drill like this. And if I did, I'm working the tool harder than I need to. And you could burn it out like that. What would be a much better idea would be to start small. drill some pilot holes in with something small like a 3/16 or a 1/4 inch, and then step up to another size, and then maybe to the final size. And you're going to have a lot more success doing that than just taking your gigantic masonry bit and trying to drive it on into your concrete. I mean, concrete's pretty hard. That's a lot of work if you're going to do that. Make your life easy. Speaking of making your life easy, here's the biggest tip that I want to give you. Because again, I've literally drilled more than 10,000 holes in concrete. When you go to drill your hole in concrete, so we're going to line up here and we're going to start going. And it's going to start going pretty good right away. And if you listen, you'll hear it happen. So the motor will start to experience some torque, some strain. It'll start to slow down. It doesn't brown out like a cordless tool. Like it doesn't stop drilling, but you hear it start to struggle. And when you hear it start to struggle, pull out just a bit and then back in. Like that's an exaggerated movement for what I'm doing. When I'm drilling, it's just the slightest like release of the force and then back down. And the reason why it's starting to bind is all that dust that we're, chewing out of this hole is binding the drill bit. Now, in theory, drill bits are shaped the way they are such that they will help to, like an auger, just lifting the dust and the debris out of the way. And it works to a certain degree. But when you're drilling holes in concrete, you'll find that this happens every time. So when I want to drill a hole, it looks like this. Drill, release, drill, release, drill, release, drill, release, drill. Okay, there we did it. We buried the entire bit. So I'll go ahead and drill one now just to give you an example. Protect your ears. Concrete dust is actually dangerous. You shouldn't be breathing it. I have fans and a dust hood up, and also I want to be able to talk to you, so I'm not going to put on my ventilator mask, but it would be a good idea if you're going to be working with a lot of drilling holes in concrete. And there you have it. That would have been like 5 minutes of drilling with a cordless tool. You'd probably kill the whole battery trying to do it, if not burn the thing out. As you can see, the Bosch drill just digs right in there. But did you notice how that was happening? As I drill in, it starts to bind, you pull out, and you can tell it's under pressure because you see the big plume of dust that's shooting out of it. And that's kind of the big trick I wanted you to know is if you're just not in tune with what you're doing and you're just leaning on that drill, you will burn the drill out. Even a really high quality drill, you could burn it out in one day with some poor technique here by just leaning on it and not allowing that drill to spit out the dust that it's choking on, or the drill bit to spit out the dust it's choking on. Well, I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm technically Steve. So it would technically help you if you like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel. So I guess I'll see you soon.